Hello, the subject today is the difference between knowing and believing. According to science, believing means not knowing. When a person says, I believe 70%, he is actually saying, I do not believe 30%, which means I have a doubt. According to Judaism, the Torah was given to the Jews 3,320 years ago in Mount Sinai in front of millions of witnesses. Not like 80,000 religions and cults that came after in history, which started with the story of one person and nobody ever brought any scientific proof if it happened or not. The followers of those religions and cults have to believe. They based everything based on belief. The Torah, unlike them, ordered the Jews to know God, to know He created the world, to know He gave the Torah to the Jews, to know He ran the show. Everything that happened here needs His approval. Everything that the Torah says, we can reach 100% knowledge. However, we have a minor problem. What is the problem? As a creation, a person was created by his Creator. The Creator ordered him that he has to know 100% that God is the master of the universe, and with the five senses that we were created with, unfortunately, we cannot prove that. We cannot see God, we cannot taste Him, we cannot hear Him, we cannot touch Him, and we cannot smell Him. The five senses that we operate every day in everyday's life, we cannot prove He exists. However, the Torah says clearly in many different places, you should know I'm your God, you should know there was no other before and no other after, above heaven and under the earth there's no other, that all the nations should know the hand of God, and many, many other examples through the entire 24 books of Judaism. So the order is absolutely clear. How to get to it, we need to explain. Here comes the explanation. In the brain of the person, according to Kabbalah, there are three different sections. We have a section that's called Chokhmah, intelligence. We have the second section, which is in the left side of the brain. It's called Bina, wisdom, the ability to understand one thing from the other, even though it wasn't told to us clearly. And the third section is called Da'at, which is the upper section above Chokhmah and Bina. What's the difference between all three? When a person hears a story based on his knowledge, his intelligence, he hears the details and he knows what was told. Sometimes in a story there are missing details. If I say 2 times x equals 6, nobody told me how much x is worth. Now, after my investigation, in my head, I find out that x is 3. That's called Bina, wisdom, the ability to investigate and come to the right conclusion. What is a Da'at? Chazal, our sages, telling us that if a person reach the level of Da'at, which means he is able to control his desires, and all the things that he does in his life is based on that, which means after he received the information, after he investigated what needs to be done, now he's able to translate it into the right action. Because many people reach God in their head. They already know that the Torah is divine and it's the word of the Creator of the world. But something between that knowledge to action, there's a short. They never translate it to live in the right way and to head to the right direction. So the Torah says, if a person has that, if he has this ability, basically he's a perfect human being. If he doesn't have it, no matter what he has, he can have buildings and wealth and children and success in all the things he does. Since he does not have it, he basically missed the target, the purpose of his creation, he did not touch. To conclude, we have to understand, inside the Torah, there are many portions that by investigating and reading it carefully, we come to only one conclusion. No human being whatsoever, no matter how many you can combine together, with all the technology, and as many years as they need, with budget, unlimited budget, none of them would be able to write those specific portions in the Torah that indicates that only the creator of the world was able to write such things. Knowledge in nature, prophecies to 2,000 or 3,000 years later in history, and many other things inside the Torah that leaves no doubt only my creator and your creator was able to write it. Why it's so important to know? Because right next to it there are many orders and obligations that the creator of the world ordered the Jewish nation and the Gentiles what needs to be done. So if we're able to prove 100%, absolutely, with no doubt that the Torah is divine, who would miss such an opportunity to follow the orders of his creator, to inherit the life of eternity as the Torah promise? As you can read inside the verses, very clear, black on white, no translation needed. The Torah promised the righteous Jews life of eternity with the most unbelievable spiritual pleasure that a person can imagine. This is as reward for being faithful to his creator and follow his instructions. Torah in Hebrew means instructions. Torah, orah, instructions. Instructions to the creation. What to do, how to do business, how to get married, how to raise children, how to eat, everything, every minor thing the Torah discuss and address. We have to understand, ignorance is the biggest danger to our life. If a person did not invest few hours a day for a certain period of time to analyze, to review the Torah carefully, he made the biggest mistake that a person can possibly think of. Not knowing that something exists does not solve your problem. A person has to be aware, what is the purpose of my creation? Somebody put me here. This whole world was made for me. This book was given to me. There are a few million people in the world that follow it strictly. Everyone is foolish. Everyone that learn in this book hours every day for months, for years, for tens of years, for so many generations in the last 3,200 years, the greatest philosophers in history follow the instruction. All of them were foolish. Maybe I'm foolish. Maybe I'm ignorant. Maybe not foolish. I can be a genius in math, in computer, in medicine, but complete ignorant in Judaism, which is the most important thing to our life. Thank you very much.